I think this is our car right up here on the right. Yep, this is it. We've made it. No, we're not quite at the salvage auctions just yet. I am picking up this Tesla for the day, courtesy of Turo. I don't think there's any push button or anything. I think we sit in this car and it's on. Pretty cool. Wow, this thing goes. Today's video has been made possible by Turo, and I'm super excited about it because I get to drive this amazing Tesla. And it was only 79 bucks a day. It took me probably about a minute or two to book it using the Turo app. I didn't wait at any rental counters or deal with any of that sort of nonsense because Turo is not a rental company. It's a peer-to-peer car sharing service, which means that you could put your car on Turo or you could borrow a car from somebody that listed their car on Turo. Just like Matt's Tesla, which I found while browsing my local Turo listings. You can browse these listings yourself simply by clicking my link in the description box below. Check out this 6-speed manual Hellcat Challenger in the Detroit metro area. And one of the most beautiful cars I found on Turo is this blacked out Audi RS7 in Chicago. I've been thrilled with the Turo experience. I love this Tesla and I love how simple it was to pick up, and I want you guys to check out Turo by using my link in the description box below. New users that use code SAMCRACK are going to get 25 bucks off their first Turo experience. Don't wait in line at the rental car counters. Get something exciting, something that suits you. Now I want to give a huge thanks to Turo for this awesome Tesla experience and for also sponsoring this video. We're down in South Florida, so we got a lot to choose from, even a bunch of boats, but no boats for us. We don't want to be accused of copying anybody. Let's go in. I see some Bentley taillights over there.
Coming in, yeah.
And check it out, right when we walk outside, the Rosa Corsa red Ferrari 360 Spider I should have bought. Oh my God, and what a great lot. We've got a ton to choose from, but we got to start with the 360. This is really classic, although I'll be honest, I don't know. What do you think of the condition? Ooh, it looks nicer than mine. Now we got these cloudy headlights, but there is a clear bra over the car, so maybe that's just a clear bra over the headlight that's faded. I've never seen them look that bad. Let's see if the doors happen to be open. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. And in this one, they're locked. But this spec, I mean, this is the classic Ferrari spec. Rosa Corsa red, black top, challenge grille. We got the glass engine cover, and it just is dirty. I mean, this is a really dirty 360. Definitely got to check this one out and see what the details are on it. But it's even got the upgraded wheels. I mean, these wheels are a huge option from the factory. Everything about this car, this is like the best spec minus the convertible top. But best spec, I mean, come on, look at this 488 over here. I mean, this, I've never seen one with this sort of rear diffuser. Is this a Stradale? What is this? Oh my God, this is just a little bit on the side there. Nothing that couldn't be fixed. I mean, this door maybe pushed in a little bit. Can't see too well. Yeah, it's got those Alcantara seats. This is a 488 Special, or whatever they're calling them nowadays. Maybe it's a Special Aperta. 149 miles on the clock. This is a really special car. Is it open? It is not open as well, although the window wants to open for me. But this is a super, super special car. Look at the carbon fiber everywhere. Look at the beautiful glass lid engine cover. Just incredible. It's amazing how different this car looks in person compared to just a standard 488. It's got those huge carbon ceramic brakes, but I want to get a closer look at our damage here. So it's like the door skin itself actually popped off the door. You can see where it glues in place there. Yes, factories use glue now to glue body components together. I'm sorry to break the news to you, but our door is pretty well destroyed here, and the door inside as well. It's got a crack right there. And then our quarter panel, that's our issue. We got this lower rocker area here, and our quarter panel all pretty much needs to be replaced, but this is definitely a car that can be repaired. This is a beautiful car, one that will probably sell for a good amount of money, but it's really, really worth it. All right. Oh my God, this is a beautiful, beautiful. This is incredible. Just absolutely incredible to see how far these cars have come from like my 360, which again, I'm not trying to compare things at all, but how basic and how plain the 360 is. And check out the beautiful materials that are used just on the door panel. And then this floor with that aluminum. It's like a diamond plate, but it's an even cooler design in the floor there. The carbon fiber is just everywhere. I gotta look up what this car costs. I'm guessing, what, $500,000? Only 100 miles on it. Well, we got to ask the next question. We really got to ask the next question. Can we turn it on? Oh, the only thing that's annoying, look, it looks like somebody might have spilled a drink during the crash. That's no good right there. Let's pop that engine cover and see what it looks like under there. Ooh, this glass. Glass is usually really heavy, super, super light. And just look at how beautiful this is. This is a brand new car. Just incredible how beautiful this thing is. Okay, right here. And it's dead. Hold on. Oh, there we go. There we go. So you guys know, Ferrari confirmed it's 105 degrees out here today. And it feels all 105 degrees worth. Anytime you're buying these cars with any sort of side swipe or door damage, you definitely want to check out the interior. You can see the side right here, the door sill that's made out of carbon fiber. Check out how it sits on this side. And you can see it's popped up a little bit on that side. That's probably not a big deal. It's what the door frame really looks like around it. And then we've got that airbag that popped out. I don't know if they sell this as an assembly, that Alcantara door trim part with the airbag behind it. Sometimes these automakers really like to segregate parts, that way they can charge you a little bit more for them. I still can't help but think how perfect of a spec this 360 is. But look at this Audi R8. Now, I've been looking for a Gen 2 Audi R8 because I love the Gen 1 so much. And I personally believe the Audi R8 is the perfect everyday supercar. It's one that can be used. If you got to repair it, you can work on it, and you can get parts at an Audi dealership, something that's a little bit tougher with Ferrari and Lamborghinis. However, this one right here looks actually like a great project. So this hit something down low, clearly on the driver's side here, pushing the hood up, folding it, and man, this hood, I've never seen one that's folded almost completely into a V like this, but that is pretty nasty. If we look over here, besides a little bit of superficial damage to the pillar, cracked windshield, this would make for a great project. Now, there are all sorts of support beams and things that run all in here, but these, like I showed you with my Lamborghini Gallardo project, are something that can generally be replaced. And again, being that it's an Audi and not a Lamborghini, the parts on those metal beams in there are substantially cheaper. They're still not cheap, but they're substantially cheaper. This is one to put on the watch list. But where do we even go from here? I mean, we've got Bentley, Ferrari, Aston Martin. We'll go right here to this Aston Martin. Check it out, 31,000 miles. And I'm assuming that, like all the other ones, doors are locked, 6-speed manual transmission. Our front end doesn't look good from here. But how does our structure look? When it comes to nasty looking body panels, like this hood, like the hood on the Audi R8 over there, you gotta look past that. You gotta look at the structure. Now I see our main rebars, what I think this is right here. It looks like it's been pushed down a little bit. That's not good. I see a lot of cracked pieces in there, but those are all plastic again. Our main structural part starts right there, I'm pretty sure. Maybe some frame extensions come off of it. And yeah, that's probably what this is right here, the frame extension. If we look on this side, it doesn't look too bad. I'm not a big Aston Martin guy, but if somebody was willing to put in the work and the time, they could get this one done. And these cars don't really hold their resale value too well. So I'd imagine that this could be bought pretty darn inexpensively. Now behind this Aston is another Ferrari 360, although one that is a little bit rougher, but check it out. Can you see that in there? This has the gated 6-speed manual transmission that also caught on fire. So this is, again, an incredible spec Ferrari 360, but half the car is down, sunken in there. I mean, this was a really incredible engine fire, obviously. You can see how far up the roof it got. Let's see if this one is open, and for the most part, it looks like the interior made it, but oh yeah, this is nasty. This would be a great parts car. One of the things that's becoming increasingly harder to find is the gate, the shifter, all the parts that go into the mechanism here to make this a 6-speed manual. Someone will absolutely buy this, probably just to get those parts, either to use them for themselves or to resell them, because they're becoming very, very valuable. I think I just gave myself an idea. Copart West Palm is your headquarters for wrecked Bentleys, including the W12 Mulsanne. We've got the baby blue drop top Continental GT over there, and we've got these two beautiful Bentegas. But first, this burnt Ferrari. Guys, I really love the idea of working on a burnt Ferrari, but maybe one that's not as severely burnt as this one or that one, something that could be resurrected. But look at how much this fire took out. I mean, this engine probably still has a lot of great components, and hey, you might even be able to get this thing to turn, but there is just so much that goes into each little part and component in this engine bay. You'd be talking about thousands and likely tens of thousands of dollars, and then you haven't even got here to the destroyed dashboard and really, really burnt up interior. But oh man, this is one beautiful spec, and it's just so sad to see this, but again, it will become an incredible parts car for someone. Now, in my opinion, the Bentayga is one of the best looking SUVs out on the market. I want to play a little game here because I haven't seen these cars super up close yet, but I can see this one clearly has a quarter panel issue, and that one back there has a front end issue. We're going to call this B1. We're going to call that one back there B2. We're going to look at the damage, and I want you guys to decide in the comments section, would you prefer to rebuild B1 or B2 based on everything that goes into a rebuild. So let's start with B1. We see here that this window has likely been smashed out, probably not just rolled down. We have what looks to be not a whole lot of damage on the door going forward. Let's look at the wheel well. Doesn't look like there's a lot going on in here. However, obviously our wheel is sitting crooked, so we've got a suspension issue down here. We also have the wheel well right up here that's been pushed in. The quarter panel has been cut out. We've got a lot of loose electronics in the back. So that seems to be the majority of the damage for B1. We're missing that rear bumper, tail lights, things like that. B2 though, total disaster in the front end here. However, this has two frame rail extensions, it looks like. See that bolt right there? That looks like a frame rail extension was bolted into our front reinforcement bar. So while this probably needs a little bit of framework, it's not as bad as this collision looks. Now I'm just totally going off of first impressions here. There's a lot more to a front end than just the frame rails. A lot of components here, I'm sure, in the engine bay that are going to be extremely expensive. And if we look at this apron here, I don't like what I see. It looks like it's been pushed over. These are pretty tough to repair. You're generally going to want to replace these. So that's going to add a lot more cost. But here, there's a little bit of an unknown to me. I'm not very good with body work, as you guys have let me know multiple times in the past. We've got some of these issues here in the quarter, and really you probably need to remove a little bit more of it to actually put in a whole new piece. So if we're up to you guys, would you rather buy B1 for a rebuild or B2? Comment down below. I went all around B2. There's no other damage besides what you see here in the front end. These two cars are always compared to each other, the Mercedes SL and the Porsche 911, and they're both incredible cars. But if I had to pick one to use every single day for the rest of my life as a daily driver, I'd pick the SL. That's a very biased question. You see how I positioned it? Daily driver for the rest of my life. This is the better looking car, the faster car, the more fun car. It's just that this is really comfortable, and it's still quick, it's still very capable, and it's fairly reliable. Now this happens to be a really cool spec. This has a target top, and it's very rare you see these 911 spec with the target top. And this one's weird because it's got this plastic all around it, and oh, I see something. I don't think you're gonna see a lot. Maybe if you were to take this plastic off, you might see some stuff, but if you look through here, I mean, the glass is all intact. Our issue clearly was an engine burn. I mean, look at all the fins on the spoiler here have some burn marks, and look at the warped rear bumper. I love to see what's underneath the engine cover because the spec on this car, again, Carrera 4S with the target top, is pretty darn rare, and it doesn't look like it was like, well, let's say like this, like that Ferrari right there. This is something that if the fire was put out or went out in a reasonable amount of time, sure, you're going to have a good amount of work in there, but it could be a really great video series resurrecting something like this. There's way more than I've even shown you, but we've kind of gone through all the best cars of the coming attractions lot. Now I want to go to the rest of the lot really quick. We're going to run around and see if we can't run into any sort of budget rebuild style projects. And well, actually, I'm looking at one possibility right here. This generation of Mercedes SL class can be had really, really inexpensively nowadays. And in my opinion, these are phenomenal cars. I had a 2004 SL 600. And if you don't have the V12 like I had and you have a V8 like this car right here, these cars are reasonably reliable. The one issue these cars do have is that it has the hydraulic suspension, which is known to have issues, and the parts are fairly expensive. But if you're willing to put in some time and some effort and maybe even convert that suspension, once these cars are sorted, they're really awesome. Now, when I see a taxi, we gotta go and check out the taxi. If you remember from the last time I walked around Copart, these taxis sometimes have ridiculously high mileage on them. And this one, well, not ridiculously high, 228,000. We saw some of them upwards of 500,000 miles last time, but we can't ignore this really interestingly wrapped Prius next to it. Is this a wrap? Let's see here. I'm gonna feel it. Yes. This whole car, I'm pretty sure, has been wrapped in this orange color. This one also high mileage, 256,164 miles. My best guess is that this was owned by a business or maybe, again, another taxi service with that high mileage. And they just went and they took their name off the side of it before it was sent in for sale. All right, this is exactly what I'm looking for right here. That first SL was okay. This one looks awesome. This would make for an incredible budget rebuild project. First off, I don't see any major body or cosmetic issues anywhere. We've got a cracked front grille, no big deal. Yeah, this body is pretty much perfect. The other huge thing I see right here on the window, 62,250 miles. One of the issues, obviously, we got that suspension issue over here. But let's see this interior for 62,000 miles. Man, I mean, okay, we got one rip in the seat, all right? One rip in the seat that's really not too terrible. It smells really nice. We have two keys. This is a very, very excellent condition car overall. Check this out. This is something that I missed on the interior. This is a really rare option. The push button start on the shifter, that usually only came on the SL 600 and some SL 55s, and it was an option on all of these cars. Like I said on the last one, you get the suspension stuff sorted out, you go and you spruce it up, you make it your own, maybe some new wheels and tires, maybe you go and powder coat the brake calipers, make them look brand new, some new brakes. And this will look like a car that cost you way more than it actually did. Got a cluster of S classes in this area, but two of them are pretty interesting. This one right here is the V12. I think they call this a W211 platform car. Late 90s, early 2000s. Man, what a beautiful interior color. It's got the design, however you say that, interior package. Now the thing is, some of these V12 S classes came with twin turbo V12s and some of them just came with the old school, just naturally aspirated V12. In my opinion, if you're seeking a V12 Mercedes, you gotta go with the newer ones, the V12s, because those actually are, again, I'm gonna use this word, you're not gonna like it, decently reliable if you maintain it, and they're actually really, really quick. So let's see what this one has. It's the twin turbo. This is a sweet, sweet car. Oh my gosh. I gotta go and put this on my watch list for sure, because sometimes these cars sell for maybe a couple $1,000s. And you can see this car's got, again, what all these cars have, the suspension issues, but overall, it is in beautiful shape. Now we got another W211 platform S class over here. This one's sitting real low, almost like Stance Nation. See that wheel sitting out a bit. The other interesting one, though, in my opinion, is this This is a hybrid S-Class, 50,000 miles. Now, when the Germans mess with new technology, it can be a little interesting. Sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's really bad. I don't know anything about the reliability of this specific car. I think it's really cool that it's a hybrid, but if I were to find one, I'd probably just stick with the standard S550, maybe the S600. That's what I had previously, and it looks basically identical to what we're looking at right now. Just phenomenal cars overall, and the fact that these things sell for next to nothing anymore makes them incredible daily drivers. That is, if you're willing to put in some time on the weekends to repair it. These cars do break. When they do, the parts aren't exactly cheap. They're not super expensive, but they drive like nothing else. I hope you guys enjoyed this visit to the Salvage auction. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. In my opinion, this is the best inventory I've ever seen in person at a Salvage auction, period. It was simply incredible. And coming up next, we're going to begin our budget enthusiast car rebuild project. This should be a pretty simple, straightforward fix, no major frame damage. It's a four-door, a little bit older enthusiast car. It's probably about as quick as the Tesla I'm in right now, 0 to 60 in the mid to low 4s. If you mod it a little bit, we'll get into the 3s. And I got it for next to nothing since it was at the Salvage auction. If you guys got an idea of what it might be, let me know in the comments section below. And if you're not already following me on Instagram, where I'll be unveiling our new budget enthusiast car project there before anything goes live here on YouTube, well, you can just go right here or click the link in the description box below. Again, I want to thank Turo for sponsoring this video. I had a great time spending the day with this Tesla, and well, I'm sitting in front of the owner's house. It's time for me to return it. If you're curious about my thoughts on this Tesla Model S, well, I'll be rolling a very brief review right now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you very soon. Tesla's over there in the distance. I've got one hand here, the other hand holding the camera, and I just want to show you, because after spending the day with this car, the one word that comes to mind is it's thoughtful. It just knows what you're thinking. You've seen this before. The door handles pop out. Also, the side mirrors came out. And the other nice thing, this is a black car. It's been sitting in the Florida heat, just parked here for a little bit over an hour. The cabin is not scorching hot, which is crazy. That's because, well, the AC kicks on and keeps the cabin at a reasonable temperature. That is one of the best features living in Florida about this car. Now, I put my foot on the brake pedal and everything just kind of moves to me. I'll put my seatbelt on here, and the car is, again, just thoughtful. I didn't push any push button start. I didn't do anything but just put my foot on the brake and we're off. Now, everybody's seen this massive front screen in the Tesla. I love how big that backup camera is. Now check this out. When you start to get close to a curb or anything you're about to run into, it tells you exactly how far away you are in inches. Just amazing. When you hear about the performance of a Tesla, usually you're hearing about the P90 or the P100D. Now remember, this is just a 75D, which means it's got a 75 kilowatt hour battery and it's got dual motors, so it's all-wheel drive. But this is no slouch. About 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds, which easily hangs with a lot of the V6, twin turbo, and V8 luxury sedans. Now the fit and finish of everything isn't quite up to par with the Mercedes or the Audis, but we've got a much different theme here than in a Mercedes or an Audi. We've got the minimalist theme, 2 gigantic screens and the road ahead of us. I've driven a handful of cars with lane keep assist, forward collision warning, blind spot monitoring, all of the safety features, but this takes things to basically the best level that exists. This is the pinnacle of autonomous driving, as we know, and it's incredible how capable it really is. Of course, technology isn't always perfect. According to the Tesla, these cars are spinning in circles next to me. They're not. They're just sitting there like they normally would be. Well, this was a ton of fun, and we're going to get back into my car now, which I can guarantee you is going to be well over 100 degrees in the cabin. It's going to be ridiculously hot. Oh yeah, the heat wave comes right out as you open the doors. Shifting gears is fun unless you're in traffic like I am right now. And what I think is even more fun than shifting gears is using no gas. That Tesla Model S and all the other cars in Tesla's lineup have so many thoughtful features that can't be found in any other make or model. It's incredible. And it leads me to personally believe it's the best daily driving car pretty much anybody with a normal commute could buy. Let me know in the comment section below if you can come up with one better daily driver than a Tesla Model S. I hope you enjoyed this brief review, and I'll catch you very soon.